Okay, we're gonna do a oil change service on this Ranger 1000. It's a 17 1000 XP. I just got done servicing the clutches and changing the belt. It went from, you put it in gear and you get it with some throttle and it starts jumping, jump, to a good smooth engagement. Put it in gear, hit the throttle, and she engages and goes nice and smooth. We're going to do an oil change on it now, and then of course I'm going to do some more stuff to it. We're going to do axles, rear axles, once those replaced, and wheel bearings all the way around. Now I've got the clutch cover off because obviously I'm in the middle of working on it. You don't have to take a tire off, it just makes it easier to roll in and out underneath the buggy. And I've got her jacked up here so I can get myself crawled up under there. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a Torx 40, and you're gonna come under here and you'll find your oil plug. There'll be a nice little area for it. I've already got it loosened, and there's a copper washer on that plug. You do not want to lose that copper washer. So we'll pull this out, get this oil draining. Good dark oil. Now, next thing you're going to want to do is not lose that. We'll put that in there with the rest of our stuff. Next thing you do is you'll come over here and you'll pull the dipstick. That way you get some drain for your oil. This heat shield here covers the exhaust. Well, right underneath of that is going to be your oil filter. So these are Torx 40 screws. You take them Torx 40s out, remove that shield, gives you access to your oil filter right there. Now you can do it, you can feed up under there and get to it, but it's just easier to do it this way. So I'll always take this intake boot off of the clutch cover box as well, and it's just got a flathead screw. So we'll pull it off out of the way, and then we've got all kinds of room to get down in there to our oil filter. Okay, now we've got this boot for our intake on CVT. We've got it removed, sitting back out of the way. Then we'll get a hold of our oil filter. Oh yeah, see, and the last person that did this was smart. They didn't torque her crazy. I'm gonna wing that off real quick so we can get the less amount of oil on the motor as possible. You always spill a little. Watch out for that exhaust, because if you preheat the motor, it's gonna be hot. So she was due. She's dark. Nothing crazy, no serious glitter party going on. We're gonna let that drain a bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and start by getting our new filter, which this is a kit for your Polaris. It comes with the right oil, the right amount of oil, the right filter. So I always recommend just ordering this kit. It's way easier. You can use different oils, to each their own, but Polaris recommends this stuff for a reason. So you take your new filter, and you're going to want to take some oil and come up around the edge of that ring and get it nice and lubricated. You don't want to ever install O-rings dry. That are going to a lubricated device, surface, whatever, what have you. You want them to be a little moist. You don't want them dry. After you do that, I always take a little oil, dump it into your filter. You don't have to have it completely plumb full, but you fill it up once and then it drains down and it cavitates into the rest of the filter through your little holes and filtrations, whatnot. And then that way, whenever you fire it up, it's not straight dry until the oil gets sucked into the filter and then into the motor. you've got a pre-primed system going on. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Let her drain good, let it get all that good old oil out of there. And then to fill it, you will take your drain plug and place it back on, and make sure that you've got your, I will have to find that copper washer. It's in my drain pan now, obviously. So you got to get that copper washer put back on there. Do not forget that. Some of these kits, they come with a new copper washer. Yep, there it is. So there's your new copper washer. Make sure not to double it. So you'll pull the old one off, put the new one on, put your plug back in. Once your plug is in, then you're good to go ahead, fill your filter up with a bit of oil, put your filter back on. Hand tight, guys. You don't need to crank that thing down like you're just giving her all the beans. You ain't got to do that. You want it good and snug. You don't want her backing off, but you don't want it so tight that you can't get it off the next time you go to service your machine, because then you got a headache, you know, and it's not a lot of space in there to fool with it. So get her good and tight, call it a day. Once your drain plug's in, your oil filter's in, then you come back around here and you'll fill your oil right here. Pop the top, get her filled back up. So I always like to look inside to make sure that nothing crazy is going on in there. You know, no extreme glitter party. There's does have, you know, you could change your oil more often and then you won't get that really dark build up inside there. It's to each their own. I am extremely deliberate about changing my oil and everything. There's no reason to cost yourself a motor in a vehicle because you want to run oil for extreme distance of time. You know, a lot of these companies are saying you can run them for a long distance, long period of time. But like I said, it's, you know, 50, 60 bucks. Change all your fluids, change your filters, change your air filter. Just do it. You know, these machines aren't cheap. They are not cheap. You want it to last as long as possible. You don't want to go out there and have to spend another 20 grand on a machine and not get the longevity out of it. So this is important stuff. Just maintain it. When you get it changed, I'll usually have a marker that I'm going to mark on the filter, the date and the hours that I've changed it, and I'll write it down on a piece of paper, leave it in the machine whenever I take it back to the customer so that they know when it was done and when it'll be ready to be done again. There's no reason to overdo it, you know. Just take care of your buggy. Be nice to it, it'll be nice to you. So if you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I think that's pretty self-explanatory on changing the fluids. You know, you drain them, you fill them, and you go have fun with it. So that's it for this video. We're going to finish this up, and then I'm going to start working on getting these axles and rear hubs pulled so I can do the axles on the rear and the wheel bearings on the rear, and I'll try and get some video of that.